Let's get to it. So many people buy those plant covers. I was like looking at reviews and they all saying these don't work and things like that. What you got to realize though is that they're not human and they don't produce heat. Like you need to add heat some sort of way, and then the plant covers will not only protect against some of the wind, but will also hold in some of that heat. There's two different types of things. There's like those breathable cloths, and if you get really cold, there's things like plastic, like those thick, durable plastics you can use, or tarps. Thank you, Rain. Let's get to it. You can generally find these barrels online for super cheap, like OfferUp or your Facebook Marketplace, and they just stack, and that will provide some mass and to radiate and hold heat. Like, check that out. As high as you can go. Alright, so step one is the bricks. The bricks hold more heat than anything else, like they absorb a little bit more heat. Realistically, here we're just trying to get into close temperatures, so like right now it's in the 40s. For some reason, it's warmer this season than it is normal, but generally we might get into the high 20s. Tropical plants generally 35 or so is when you have to worry. So like the mango is probably the most thing I have to worry about. 35 degrees. Most of my cold hardy should be able to go in the 20s once they're established, which they are. So all I'm trying to do is just get a couple of degrees of warm. So depending on the temperature, these might hold. It's mass. So if these get warm, they'll radiate heat. So pretty much, when you have something covered, you need a heat source. A lot of people think that you just put these covers on and that's all there is to it. No, you need heat. So you need something to radiate a little bit of heat. These can do up to 5 degrees by themselves. So if we're getting 20, 30 degrees, that 5 will keep everything nice. It's not necessarily a growth temperature, but it is a temperature that will keep things alive. That's all I'm trying to do. So this is going to be the first stage. The second stage is the water. So theoretically, the sun is going to heat up. This will hold heat a little bit better, and it'll keep this mass a little bit warmer. It also is nice to get on the flat surface. Then heat rises, so if this is warm, the heat's going to go upwards instead of in coldness goes down. So theoretically, what happens is this will warm up and it'll keep things warm. And I have them systematically placed throughout my garden in the tropical area. This whole thing that I built gets covered. And at the worst case scenario, that's the stage 3 is to get it covered. Once we get into like 30s, the high 30s, low 40, like 39, when I'm starting to see that, I'm going to come out here and get these covered. Theoretically, that's generally like, you can go till, on average, that's like mid-December to mid-January, somewhere in that range is where we got to get it covered. But the way that it's been, like normally on Halloween, it's the first time it's getting cold. That didn't happen this time, so I don't know. We're right now, almost Thanksgiving, and it's still 50s, 40s, high 40s, 60s. So we'll see what happens. But because it's been raining so much, that makes me worried. Like when you get rain plus cold, that's snow. You did get snow once, and I felt like I was trying to think about it. It was a long time ago. If that was basically like the weather we're having now, I'm not sure. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna leave these open because if it is raining, it'll just fill these up. Why waste water? Might as well let that work out. And then what's going to happen is at the 4th stage, if I need to, I can heat up this water, and then that's all that you need. You have it covered. That plus warmth of this, you're set. And there's so many different ways to warm up. When we get to that stage, I'll be able to show you what that looks like.
This weather really is weird this year. I mean, raining, but I'm just gonna leave this open and let this collect the rain as it goes. I'm not gonna cover it yet. We're not that cold, but we're cold enough for me to start worrying about it. I want to generally, like I was saying, have this up by Halloween, but not this year. It's kind of warm. I hope that doesn't mean we're gonna have a super hot summer. Take a look in here. I have them on the inside as well. You just gotta strategically place them. Just think about where your things are coldest. The things that are touching this are the things that get really cold. And as you see, you have those bricks. If you didn't see that first video, bananas. We got everything nice and bundled together, pushed everything together. Got bricks in between, the cloth, breathable bags. And this is just what it is, right? I'm gonna do a part 3. It's just not that time yet, so I can't really compile the video. Let me know though, do you guys like watching like 20-30 minute videos, or do you rather have them like 5 apiece? You can kind of pick what you want. What I also did is over here is put that cold hardy avocado, which is doing great over here. This should be fine because you should go down to like 20 degrees once established. That's that cold hardy Mexicola, and it should be fine on its own for the most part. I might run some lights over here as well. That's kind of the part 3, but over there this kind of stays warm because of the wall and the AC unit. So this area kind of in a way stays a couple degrees warmer than it would be over there. That's all out in the open. And then I also have this guy over here. I don't know if I want to bring him into the fold or leave him out. These are those 3 that I planted, like. And ultimately, really what you need is a structure. This is all going to be covered up with that cloth or plastic. I haven't, depending on what the weather looks like. I think it's going to be a warm winter, so we should be good. Leave me any comments, concerns. I'm going to show some different ways to warm up these barrels with lights and things like that later once we get to that point. Or maybe I should run the wires now. What is your garden like? How do you keep yours warm? I'm excited for this season. Let's grow.